On a Texas highway off-ramp, a dash cam records a truck hauling a trailer. The truck hits a car that was allegedly just involved in another accident with a different vehicle, ejecting the driver, who narrowly avoids being run over. Moments later, the seemingly uninjured man begins frantically searching the back of his car for something, which turns out to be a young child who was also apparently thrown from the car when it was hit by the truck.
Hey, is he okay? Okay. Baby, 애기한테 봐. 빨리.
The young boy appears shaken, but otherwise uninjured.
Hey, 전화 줘.
A man who may have been driving the truck who hit the car confronts the driver.
That car over there, this car started over there. They don't have no lights on or anything, let's roll.
The man with the dash cam claims the truck driver leaves the scene before police arrive.
Did you find everyone? Everybody's found, yes.
He also states that everyone is okay. And perhaps by pure luck, a tragedy
Hey, is he okay?
is avoided.
Okay.
On a highway in Minnesota, a traffic cam records as vehicles move along smoothly, when suddenly a white sedan traveling at a high speed overshoots the on-ramp, barreling straight into a box truck, which then careens into a concrete wall and bursts into flames. As what appears to be the truck's fuel spreads out around it, the driver's side door opens, but the thick smoke and growing inferno just outside force the driver to retreat back into his cabin. Then, finally, the driver emerges from the passenger side. Possibly in shock, he lingers dangerously close to the explosive situation until a quick-thinking Samaritan hurries in and convinces him to move to safer ground. A short time later, police arrive and tend to the driver who caused the accident. According to reports, her blood alcohol content is 4 times the legal limit, and she's rushed to the hospital. Firefighters eventually manage to put out the fire, but the truck is destroyed. The driver is later convicted of third-degree driving while impaired. Fortunately, neither driver sustains life-threatening injuries. A senseless and terrifying situation that, had the truck driver not been able to remove himself from the flames, could have ended much, much worse. In Everett, Washington, a trucker's dash cam records as he enters onto a busy highway, when suddenly as the driver of a large RV attempts to move into the trucker's lane, they underestimate the room needed to safely do so. The The semi's front bumper clips the RV's rear, and when the semi driver then hits the brakes, the motorhome loses control, sending it careening across multiple lanes of traffic, slamming into the concrete barrier, and finally, sliding to a stop. According to news reports, the two occupants of the RV need to be extricated. They are taken to a nearby hospital and are treated for serious injuries. A painful reminder that familiarity with the vehicle one is driving is crucial to keeping oneself and everyone else on the road out of harm's way. In Ohio, an ODOT worker sits on the shoulder of I-77 as the driver of a dump truck who, according to court documents, is under the influence, suddenly begins to stray from his lane. The dump truck veers directly into the ODOT truck at freeway speed, causing a huge inferno and immediately capturing the attention of everyone on the freeway, many of whom pull over to assist however they can, only to find both drivers trapped inside their smoldering vehicles. Fortunately, within 90 seconds, authorities are already within sight. And an officer races to the aid of the wounded drivers. According to news reports, both men are pulled from the wreckage by police and taken to a local hospital. Miraculously, the ODOT employee's injuries, though serious, are not life-threatening. But the dump truck driver's injuries are severe, and his troubles don't stop there. He's eventually placed under arrest, and according to court documents, pleads guilty to aggravated vehicular assault and operating a vehicle while under the influence. He faces up to 7.5 years in prison. A group of tourists are on a slow-moving wagon ride in Carmel Valley, California, when a driver in a pickup truck expresses some impatience, which escalates quickly. The truck rear ends the wagon. Sending one of the tourists completely overboard and onto the road.
Somebody please my daughter.
Oh my God!
The truck driver stops to assist the woman who fell off,
Okay, stay with mommy. I'm gonna go get mommy. Stay with her.
while her family and some other bystanders rush to her aid.
Are you out of the mind?
Please call an ambulance.
What did you do, man? Why did you do that?
Seriously?
Why did you do that?
Are you out of your...
Are you drunk?
Sir, no. I'm
No, are
very
you
sorry.
just... What the happened, man? I'm calling the 911.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. I just want to make sure everything's okay.
The truck driver is clearly regretful and starts to do as much damage control as possible.
Miss, you... I know you don't want to talk to me. I understand that. Are you okay?
No, she's not. She fell off the car because you...
No, I know. Call 911.
After a police investigation, the truck driver is found to have a blood alcohol level of 0.21, almost 3 times the legal limit. He is sentenced to 5 years of felony probation for a DUI causing great bodily injury. South Australia, a motorcyclist rides through an intersection and appears to trigger a speeding camera.
That's 60. We're lucky I got that on camera, right?
The biker believes that he wasn't breaking the speed limit, so he returns to the same stretch of road the next day to see if going the same speed triggers the camera again.
Yesterday, these lights flashed twice when I went through them, and I can only assume that they were flashing at me.
And though the driving conditions are much less ideal,
It's horrible, man. I'm just glad the visor's not fucking up right now. This is so bad. I can't see.
as he approaches the intersection with the camera, he decides to do the test anyway.
Right, so I'll go at 4,000 revs in 6th gear again, straight through here. I'll see what happens.
A driver coming in the opposite direction makes a right turn directly into the biker, knocking him over the handlebars and onto the pavement. In a stroke of luck, the first person to respond is ideally qualified to help.
Lie down. It's okay, I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
Can you turn? Are you hurt anywhere?
Perhaps even more fortunate, an ambulance just happens to be stopped at the same intersection.
Hi guys, how you going?
Yeah, right.
Though the man sustains only minor injuries, his bike is totaled. According to the biker, responding officers use his footage to clear him of any wrongdoing and charge the driver with failure to give way.
Yeah.
But regardless of who's at fault, the takeaway is clear.
Have a look at you.
Driving defensively for all motorists in all
I'll
situations
see what happens.
is always a good idea. In Mississippi, a biker rides down a divided highway, which intersects with multiple cross streets that are controlled by stop signs, putting the burden on opposing traffic before they proceed, which unfortunately can lead to mistakes. As the biker cruises down the left lane, an SUV pulls across towards the median, leaving him no time to slow down, sending him and his camera flying in different directions, with his camera continuing to run, capturing him writhing in pain and unable to get up. Within moments, Good Samaritans try to help him however they can.
Don't move it, don't move it. Call 911. Call 911.
But while the bystanders stay by the biker waiting for authorities, the driver of the SUV apparently leaves the scene.
It was like a dark green Explorer. I don't know what year, but they took off that one.
Within a short time, medics arrive and take the biker to the hospital, where, according to him, he's treated for serious injuries, requiring a month's stay. It's unconfirmed if the driver of the SUV is located or suffers any repercussions. But a terrifying example of how a routine ride down the highway can be instantly derailed and potentially lead to a lifetime of consequences. For commuters, buying a home on a main route does have its advantages. Easy access to transportation, good, reliable road maintenance, a sometimes more affordable price. The potential downside, the rare but very real possibility of this happening. a commercial truck veers into a ditch, flips nearly end over end through some utility wires, and comes to rest on the roof of a home. Moments later, the driver emerges, apparently unharmed, as does his passenger. Fortunately, at the time of the crash, the homeowner was in his driveway. Utility crews eventually cut the power lines before Crane can safely extricate the truck from the house. According to police reports, the driver is later charged with careless driving. No word on the cost of repairs for the home, or if the homeowner is looking to move. In Lodi, New Jersey, Evan Yu's dash cam records the flow of traffic on a congested highway when the behavior of this driver catches his attention.
The whole time I was driving, I noticed a car coming in and out of my rearview mirror, driving a little aggressively.
And as the driver of that car heads towards traffic, their maneuvering appears to become even more risky.
You don't want to do that. I say, you don't want to do that because I knew that a couple of 100 feet up ahead, the left lane usually backs up really bad.
And when traffic is backing up, speeding directly toward it is a very bad idea.
Holy!
The driver of the dark sedan misjudges the space between two cars and clips the rear wheel of the black SUV.
He didn't hit the SUV that hard, but the two wheels kind of rotating against each other just kind of popped him right into the air. Or it was like the car was weightless and it was just tumbling and tumbling.
Holy! Holy! Holy!
Evan immediately pulls over.
I think it's really basic human instinct to try to help, but this car was crumpled up to the point where you really would need the jaws of life to be able to cut panels away and get these guys out.
And when Evan looks inside the crashed vehicle, he sees what he believes is a dire situation.
It seemed like the passenger, she actually ended up halfway in the backseat of the car. She was covered in blood. She was pretty distraught. She was screaming. The driver was still in the front seat, but he wasn't moving.
Once emergency personnel arrive, Evan leaves the scene, although he doesn't know the full extent of the injuries of those in the car. The terrifying accident taught him a valuable lesson.
Driving really aggressively, going for tiny little gaps. You don't want to do that. It's really not worth it. You really are only going to save a couple of seconds at most. And when it goes wrong, it goes really wrong.
Oh! Holy! Holy!
In Edinburgh, Scotland, a frightening example of how a simple accusation could turn a minor run-in into a major altercation. A car's rear dash cam records as traffic slows, and then suddenly, almost immediately, the driver of the red van signals to pull over. And though it seems to be fairly routine at first, when the driver with the dash cam looks at his bumper, he appears to get angry. And while the van driver is relatively calm,
What are you getting upset about? I'm all upset, buddy.
his explanation
Hey, are you answer that? Slipped off the brake, okay?
is met with an insinuation.
What are you on the phone? No, I was still on the phone.
It seems the van driver was holding what appears to be a plastic fork while he was driving, which from afar might have been mistaken by the driver who was rear-ended for a cell phone.
Are you on the phone?
No, I'm still on the phone.
Okay, don't.
No, you so I'm busy, you but I'll fuck you right now, right? You stop you right, go just like the bitch, that's
The van driver grabs the other man's neck from behind. And in the ensuing struggle, the plastic fork in his left hand appears to graze the other driver's face before he's thrown to the ground.
right, go just like the
The visibly shaken victim calls the police.
Hello, I did an accident. I was hit by a driver and I was assaulted.
Tell them the truth that you stuck your face above me. Tell the truth, you yeah. Tell the truth.
According to news reports, the van driver eventually pleads guilty to an assault charge and is ordered to pay a 240-pound fine, as well as 400 pounds to the victim. A powerful lesson that though reacting to a stressful situation is normal, leave the accusations to the police.
Are you on the phone?
No, I'm still on the phone.
Because you never know who you're dealing with. What is it about parking lots that can bring out the worst in some drivers?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. This is my mom's car and I was moving it.
Okay, well, you need to call your mom up here and give me your insurance card. I'm calling the police.
Case in point, this damage was allegedly caused by the teenager who was just apologizing as he pulled into a parking space in Sims, Alabama.
Thank you so much.
Unfortunately for the woman filming, it was her car. Even more unfortunate, it seems the young driver isn't interested in waiting around for the police. So the woman wisely continues to film as he leaves. Or rather, attempts to leave.
Crazy. What,
Idiot.
what the hell are you doing?
Sit down and calm down. Just sit down and calm down.
Having now damaged 3 cars, the hapless driver runs for the hills, or more specifically, to this nail salon, which is where the owner of the car he was driving, his grandmother, is having her nails done.
He hit my damn.
Yeah, he hit mine too and lied about it. He hit your car too? He hit my car first and then lied about it. I got everything on video.
The teen was apparently driving without a license and without his grandmother's permission. Insurance pays out the damages and no charges are filed. Here's hoping his driving improves once he gets his license.
Crazy.